So I'm starting off with foundation, and I use a beauty blender to kind of press the foundation into my skin. I do that to cover up all the red marks, the skin discoloration, and any acne that I might have. I prefer to use a beauty blender and pat it into the skin rather than trying to use a makeup brush because you get more coverage with the foundation using it that way. Next, I'm doing concealer. I prefer to highlight my forehead, my nose, and my under eyes, and I pat it into the skin the same way I did the foundation because, again, if you spread it or try to smear it, it will mix in with the foundation and then the highlight of the concealer will be lost. So now I'm using a setting powder to set that concealer and foundation, and again I'm doing the same thing where I'm patting it across the skin rather than trying to spread it with a makeup brush so that the foundation doesn't mess with the concealer and mix it together. Next, I'm doing the contour. So the contour is really important because it kind of highlights the features of your face, so like your cheekbones, your forehead, and it's important for the 60s look. I'm doing a little bit more than what they would have done, but I'm trying to achieve the more sun-kissed look that they liked. So for my crease color, I decided to use a very neutral brown, almost champagne color, because I want to take that base and then build it up into a really big and dramatic smoky eye. This was very popular in the early 60s as the emphasis was all about the eyes and how big you could really make them. So right now I'm just trying to blend it out and get it as smooth as possible so I can apply the darker colors next. So now I'm going in with an even darker brown. It's a little bit different from what they would have used. They probably would have used a cooler toned brown, one with less glitter, but personally I like this look on myself, so I decided to do it. And now I'm putting an orange shade on my lid. The reason I do this is I'm going to put that base color on top of it and create kind of a gold appearance, but this orange just kind of helps bring out the bottom lid much more. So now I'm putting on that champagne color, and as you see, it kind of changes it into a more gold look. So now I'm putting in a darker brown. This is probably the darkest color I would use. I'm popping that into the crease just to make it even more dramatic. And then I'm going to go again on my lower lash line just to really darken it so we can match the smoky eye up top as well as on the bottom. So for the eyeliner, I decided to go really slow and just take it inch by inch until I could map out a thin line across my eye. The reason I did this was so I would have a guide, so when I redrew the line to make it really, really thick, it wouldn't be as difficult and I wouldn't have such room for error. The reason I want a really thick eyeliner is because, again, it would just add to the smoky eye and create really, really dark, heavy eyes like they would have worn in the early 60s. So for my eyebrows, I decided to use a warm brown that matched my hair. I went for the more natural look of applying eyebrows because mine are so thin, and this is what they would have done in the 60s. There wasn't such an emphasis on blocking out and sketching the eyebrows as we have today. So I'm going in with my lash curler to basically curl them and open up the eyes for mascara. So next I'm applying my false eyelashes, and this is kind of going against the tradition of the 60s. They had very thick, very long eyelashes that covered basically your entire eyelid, but when I try to do that, it looks very heavy and they sag almost on my eyes, so I only apply it to a certain area. So I decided to apply mascara to my natural lashes and the fake ones just to merge them together so it look a little bit more cohesive, and I also decided to apply it to the bottom as well. So for blush, I decided to use a pastel pink color that would have been very popular in the 60s, and although it's not accurate, I also chose to do highlighter because it just accentuates my features and it's personal preference. So for my lips, I decided to line them with a nude pastel color to kind of go with the theme of the pastel pinks that are used on the face. The theme of the early 60s was really to downplay the facial features in order to really highlight the eyes. Again, it's very similar to eyeliner. It can be very tricky, but you just have to work inch by inch until you completely cover your lips. So for my lips, I decided to use a pale pink to match the liner that I had used. And where I differ from the 60s is although they would have used glosses, it wasn't used to accentuate the features, but what I'm doing, I'm kind of modernizing it a little bit and using the gloss in a way that we would overlay it with the lipstick. Hi!